Welcome back. Today, we are diving into something really powerful, a strategy that the absolute top performers use to silence that nagging voice of self-doubt and step into their full potential. It's called the alter ego effect, and honestly, it might just change how you approach every single challenge you face.
All right, so first up, let's talk about a problem that I'm pretty sure we've all felt. You know that feeling when you just get in your own way, right when it matters most? Yeah, that's what we call the performance paradox. I mean, seriously, have you ever been there? That wave of anxiety just washes over you in a huge moment. That little voice in your head telling you you're not good enough, even though deep down you know you've got this. Okay, let me paint a picture for you. Imagine this. You're at this massive event, and suddenly disaster strikes. The keynote speaker is a no-show. The organizer, totally panicked, runs up to you and says, "You know this stuff. I need you on stage now." So you peek out from behind the curtain, and oh man, it is not a small room. We're talking 1,000 faces, all staring back at you, just waiting. You can feel the heat from the spotlight. And the kicker? You've got 0 notes. Your mind just goes completely blank. Your heart is pounding, just hammering against your ribs. And that little voice, that familiar nagging voice of self-doubt starts whispering, "You can't do this." Be honest, how confident would you feel walking out on that stage? Okay, but what if you could just flick a switch and instantly swap all that fear for just unshakable confidence? Well, that's exactly the secret we're talking about today. It's what some of the world's most successful people do. This is the alter ego effect, and it's all about creating and stepping into a kind of secret identity. Now, the goal here isn't to become a totally different person. No way. It's about unlocking the heroic qualities you already have inside you and bringing them out right when you need them most. Just think about Beyoncé, right? Before she was this global icon, she was actually a pretty shy choir girl. So when the nerves would hit, she would become Sasha Fierce. And the second that happened, bam! Fear turned into excitement. Self-doubt got kicked to the curb, and a superstar was ready to own the stage. Okay, I know what some of you might be thinking. Isn't this just being fake? And the answer is a big, fat no. You're not putting on a mask to hide who you are. Think of it like a tool to access the best parts of you that are already there. It's not about abandoning yourself. It's about pushing through your own comfort zone. All right, so maybe you're sold on the idea. You're thinking, okay, this sounds cool, but how do I actually do it? Well, let's get practical. Let's break down exactly how you can build your very own alter ego using a super simple framework. It all comes down to 4 key questions. First, ask yourself, where do I struggle? Where do I feel held back? Then, what qualities would I need to crush it in that situation? More confidence, calmness, maybe creativity? Step 3, find your who. Who or what already embodies those traits? And finally, the most important part, the why. Dig into their story to really understand what makes them so powerful. And listen, your inspiration can come from literally anywhere. It could be a star athlete, think Kobe Bryant's Black Mamba persona, which he used to become just lethal on the court, or maybe a fictional character, a mentor you look up to. You could even pick an animal. The point is, there are no rules. The choice is totally yours. But whatever you do, do not skip that last step, the why. This is so crucial. This is where you build the story that gives your alter ego its power. It's the narrative, the backstory that fuels their confidence. Without a good why, your alter ego is it's just an empty costume. Okay, so you've picked your battlefield, you know the qualities you need, you found your inspiration, and you've got a killer backstory. Now for the fun part. How do you, flick the switch? How do you bring this persona to life in a split second? Well, the best way to think about it is like a superhero's suit. Black Panther is just T'Challa most of the time walking around. But when danger shows up, that suit just emanates from his necklace and boom, he instantly has superhuman abilities. You need your own version of that necklace, a trigger. This is what's called a triggering artifact. Basically, it's a physical object that you connect to your alter ego, something you can use to activate that persona, effortlessly, automatically, without even having to think about it. And the possibilities here are endless. I mean, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. used to put on non-prescription glasses before big interviews to trigger his super intellectual persona. There was an army colonel who used a specific golf shirt to switch into patient, playful dad mode when he got home. It could be a watch, a ring, your headphones, literally anything that has that special meaning for you.
So there you have it. We've covered the what, the why, and the how. You now have the full playbook for creating and activating your own secret identity. So all that's left is a choice. You know, the great Jim Rohn once said, if you're not willing to risk the unusual, you'll have to settle for the ordinary. And look, using an alter ego, yeah, it might feel a little unusual at first. But the real question is, are you okay with settling for ordinary?
And let's be real for a second. It's probably going to feel a bit strange when you first try it. But think about it this way. When they're looking back on your life, you're not going to remember how weird it felt for a few minutes. You will remember the confidence you found and all the extraordinary things you did because of it. So I'm going to leave you with one last question, and it's a powerful one. In those moments that really, truly matter, when all the pressure is on, who will you choose to become?